Here with Rocky DeWitt, Republican candidate for the Senate District 1 race. Thanks for stopping by. So to start off with, can you share a little bit about yourself for folks who might be unfamiliar with you?
Oh, I've got a little bit of a varied background. I grew up on a farm, was raised around a small business, went to work for what was then IPS, is now Mid-American. For 22 years, I was a union member with the IBEW for 22 years. I've done various things since then. Always had a small business of my own in the sporting goods trade. Decided that it was time to get into elected office a few years ago and was successful on my first run for Board of Supervisors. So now the right people have talked to me and let me know that it's time to move up, and I agree. There's a lot of things, a lot of issues that can't be done at the county level that I want to address at the state level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you kind of mentioned it already, but why did you decide to run? What were some of those issues?
Oh, some of the issues that the state legislatures come quite a ways on the conservative side. Issues like life, the schools, education, if you will, Second Amendment things. There's just various things that everything's important. It's just a matter of what's important to me and my constituents. There's always going to be another side to the equation, but there will also be other elected folks that are more passionate about other items. But that's their voice, and of course I'll be listening to both sides.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what would you say is your top priority?
Basically, the top priority that I have is, like I said, the state has made an awful lot of progress on conservative issues like the life issue, Second Amendment things. I want to make sure that we keep that momentum going. Is there always room to advance those things? Of course there is, but elections can change the makeup of any governing body. So I do want to be a part of keeping the state going in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. So what sets you apart from your opponent?
There's a lot of things. I don't believe that abortion should be available up to the minute of birth. My opponent has painted me as an extremist for my Second Amendment views, saying I'm not even in favor of reasonable gun control laws. I've never seen a reasonable gun control law. I've never seen one that actually takes the guns out of criminals' hands. So fiscally speaking, she voted against the income tax on retirement income. She voted against the tax cuts. I'm always going to err on the side of the Constitution and conservatism. Smaller government, more money in your pocket. I believe there should be more regulations on government than there should be on people. So I'm also a friend of ag with Farm Bureau's endorsed me. I think there's an awful lot that sets us apart.
Mm-hmm. So if you're approached by citizens with issues, what's your process of kind of looking into that?
Every time we are approached on any topic, it's going to feel like I'm getting a crash college course on learning everything I can about it in a very short amount of time. I will always listen to the other side. Even if I don't agree with it, I'll listen to it, because there's still a learning process that goes along with listening. So I have 2 ears and 1 mouth. I try to listen more than I talk, but we want to make sure that every side is heard. Even, everybody has their opinion and everyone thinks their opinion is the right one, but we want to make sure that every opinion is heard.
Mm-hmm. So what are your plans for kind of getting out there and seeing what your constituents, if elected, want?
We'll probably be doing some town halls, maybe attend city council meetings various times of the year. Depends on what's going on in various cities. Right now, for example, one city's fighting a drainage district issue. So I'll probably be at least down there listening and seeing how things are going. A couple other towns out in the county are having some economic growth things that they're concerned about, trying to get off the ground and get running. So I want to make sure that I'm in tune with what's going on in my district. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and on that, as you've been out on the campaign trail, what have you been hearing from people about what their top priorities for the state are currently?
Actually, most of the folks that when they answer the door, I knock on the door, tell them who I am, what I'm doing, I get almost exclusively high inflation. And we're just working on keeping that in check as best we can by lowering levies, reducing regulations where possible, where feasible, where practical. Because every regulation on a business actually adds to the cost going to consumers. Okay, so inflation is number one, crime and the border. In other words, a lot of what I'm hearing is actually coming from the federal level, what their concerns are, but some of that still bleeds down to the local level and the state level. So far and away, most I'm hearing about is the economy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, those are the main questions that I had, unless there was anything else that you wanted to add or touch on.
I don't think so.
Perfect. Well, thanks for stopping.